Hello, in our previous video we have implemented a method which can add a node to the head of our double linked list. In this video we'll continue with implementing a method which can add a node to the tail of our linked list. So let's direct go to that. Okay, this is our method to add a node to the tail of our double linked list. Let's briefly describe the steps. Well, adding a node to the tail of a double linked list is quite similar to adding a node to the head of a double linked list, except a few changes. If the list is empty, both are similar. Like if the list is empty, both adding to head and adding to tail update the tail and the head to this newly created node. So the first step is create a new node. If the list is empty, we'll update both the tail and the head of the list to point to this new node. Otherwise, if the list is not empty, set the next of the current tail to point to the new node. Then set the previous of the new node to point to the current tail. Then say the tail to point to this new node. Finally, we update the current tail. Okay, so let's create a new node here. Let's update that. Let's create that. Then let's check if it's not empty. If node is empty, then if it's not empty, node dot this dot tail dot next will point to this new node. This dot node dot previous point to this dot tail. Then this dot tail will be equal to this this newly created node, will point to this newly created node. Otherwise, if the list is empty, it's quite similar to this dot head will be equal to this dot tail, which will be equal to this newly created node. We will only have one node, and that node will become both the head and tail of our linked list. Okay, now let's check this implementation. Let's adding a node with info 5 to the tail of our doubly linked list. Then list dot add to tail. Then let's add 5 here, and let's check that. First we created an empty linked list, then we checked it is empty or not. This is empty, then we'll add 5 with a node with info 5 to the tail of our list. Then we'll check if it's still empty. Okay, let's compile this. Let's execute it. Yeah, it's still working. We created a new, we added 5 to it. Then when we check this not empty, then that is added. So we're done with adding a node to the tail of our double linked list. In the next video we'll implement 2 methods, one to search for one to print the whole list, then the other one to search for a given node based on the information stored in it. Okay, very good time, and thank you for your attention.